How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another episode of our NHL 25 Be a Pro series with our goaltender, Dale Adams. Now, in today's episode, we're going to go back to the one game format. We're going to do a 10-minute third period against the Washington Capitals as long as the sim goes well and it's not a complete blowout. But we are going to be doing one game regardless, whether it's against the Capitals or a different team in this episode, just because I'm a little bit under the weather, or I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So I don't want the episode to be too terribly long. Um, so yeah, I felt like, and especially because Florida Panthers just won the Stanley Cup a couple days ago or yesterday at this point. I don't remember when they won it. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather. I don't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so the Florida Panthers just won the Stanley Cup again. So I figured, and also we just wrapped up our second season in our MLB The Show career. So I figured it'd be a good time to jump back into this one, try and work our way through this season, hopefully make it into the playoffs, and end this series with a Stanley Cup victory at the end of this season. So we're going to be doing this game here, hopefully against Capitals. So we are going to just sim to the third period, taking on the 23, 22, and 7 Washington Capitals. They are 22nd place in the NHL. So they are looking to turn things around in their season. So first period, 2-1 in favor of Chicago. Robbie Fabry gets the lone goal for Washington, and Philip Kurashev gets 2 goals for Chicago. Second period, 3-2. Ovechkin still on Washington, or still in Washington, scores to make it a tied game, but then John Carlson, former Washington Capital, scores to give us the lead right back. So we are going to jump in to the third period here. We're just going to rock normal home and aways. And we got to make sure we turn off tethering. And also, if I do, if I do just this single game, it helps me not have to edit out certain things, even though my NHL videos are very minimal edited. They're not like my MLB ones where I edit out all the wind-ups and everything like that, and I just show you like the pitches and the hits and all that stuff. So this one, it's pretty straightforward, but I'm not really looking for like something I have to spend like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour doing. I'm really worried. That shot sound was very delayed, so I'm hoping it was just like a bug. And I noticed Patty Kane is on the Capitals. Okay. I'm wondering if the sound was just bugged out there for a second. It seems fine now. But yeah, I'm not looking for a video that takes me like 45 minutes to an hour to edit, because sometimes my MLB videos can take me quite a bit to go through and just make sure I edit everything out and everything. Panarin, backhand shot, good save from the Tendy. I believe it was Rodrigue. Could be mistaken there. Robbie Fabry got a goal for the Capitals. Philip Kurashev already has 2 on the board. Bedsy skating in. Good save once again by Rodrigue in net for the Caps. Dylan Strome, former Blackhawk, takes a shot there. We make a good save. 18-10 in the third. But yeah, I briefly mentioned it, but the Florida Panthers have indeed went on to win the Cup back-to-back years, which I obviously did not want, mainly because Seth Jones is on the Florida Panthers in real life, and I didn't really like his time in Chicago, and I felt like the things he said after he was traded were kind of disrespectful towards the team. So I didn't want to see him basically be rewarded. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, in the words of Bruce Almighty. But Jesper Fast skates in, shot goes wide. Jones with the hit against the boards there. We got full pressure. He will lose it. immediately negating the full pressure, which is a very Seth Jones thing to do. That'd be something he would do in real life. Here comes Patty Kane. Good takeaway from Jones. Jesper Fast, long pass over to Kurashev, looking for the hat trick here. Good shot there, paddled away by Rodrigo Korchinski now. Got stick lifted, gets control of the puck back. Panarin with a backhand shot, good save. Sandin up to Smith. Oh, that was wider than that. Thankfully, it missed. Kurashev passed in front. Up to Jones. Panarin skates it out. Over to Jonesy. 15.5 here in the third. Bertuzzi's shot. And he snipes it, and we have a 2-goal lead. Man, I missed having Bertuzzi on our team. He was injured for a little bit. Thankfully, he's back. He might have been back in the last episode, but it's been a hot minute since I played this game. But we love seeing Bertuzzi. Very fun to watch in real life. Definitely fun to watch here in this game. Yeah, we do have a 2-goal cushion now. Connor Bedard already has 40 goals on the season, a huge margin compared to everybody else. Yeah, going back to the finals, congratulations to the Florida Panthers and their fans for back-to-back Stanley Cup wins. Obviously, you were the better team. I do feel like Edmonton kind of just decided not to show up in those last 2 games. And I do feel like the games that they did win, Panarin with a quick shot, good save. I do feel like the games that they did win, the fact that it required overtime to do it, and I'm pretty sure they had the lead one time that went to overtime. Whoa. I don't know if what I said made sense. We'll toss that out. But like the first 3 games of the series went to overtime, right? Maybe 4. No, I don't think the 4th one went to overtime. I don't know. But like there was a lot of games where like Edmonton had to force overtime to win, or they could have won in regulation and they didn't. And I think it came down to goaltending, because in one of those games, like game 5, Picard, oh, nice deflection there from PLD. Not much I can do there. PLD with a nice deflection, his 7th of the season. But yeah, it's like in game 5 or 6, I don't know. But I looked and Picard was in. Like and it wasn't like he was substituted. I'm pretty sure he started that game. And it was like, why are you starting Picard over Skinner when Skinner is arguably the better choice? I mean, he still isn't amazing, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I didn't even watch the last game, to be honest. I don't think I watched a single Stanley Cup Finals game this year. When normally, like, I'll watch like the third periods at least, and then when it's elimination games, I'll watch the whole thing. But this year, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one, but like I just didn't care this year. Like, if it would have went to game 7, then I would have watched it just because it's game 7, you know. But this year I just didn't care. Like, I saw Florida was up 3-2 in the series, and I was like, well, if Edmonton wins, I'll watch game 7 just to see what happens. But if Florida wins, they win the cup, and I don't really care. But I don't know. I just felt like the finals weren't exciting this year. Like, there wasn't, like last year it was exciting because it was like, oh, Florida's back in the cup finals looking to win their first Stanley Cup, and it's their second time being in the finals. Back-to-back years being in the finals. They lost to Vegas the year before. Now they're back taking on Edmonton. If Edmonton wins, it'll be the first time a Canadian team has won since '93. And then Florida wins their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. It was cool. But the only thing that would have been exciting about this year was Edmonton wins, a Canadian team finally won the cup. But I don't know. I've said it numerous times and I'll continue to say it. Unless Chicago is in the finals, I want to see a different team win every year. Otherwise, I feel like it just gets boring. And I feel like everybody would feel that way with their own favorite team. Like obviously if Chicago was like won it like 4 years in a row, then maybe it'd get to the point where it was like, okay, I'm a Blackhawks fan, but it'd be nice to see something different, you know. But maybe it'd be like, wow, this team is just that good. Like, this team needs to be studied. They've won the cup 4 times in a row, which I don't think has ever happened. So, um, will Chicago ever do that? Definitely not. If they do, it will not be in my lifetime. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Definitely not anytime soon, that's for sure. But my point is it's like everybody with their favorite team, whether it's Chicago like me, or if it's Anaheim or Washington or Florida or Edmonton or whoever, I feel like everybody can agree that when it's their team that they root for, they don't care how many times they win the cup in a row. They want to see them win it every year. But when your team is not in the playoffs or they get eliminated during the playoffs, then it's kind of like, okay, and I might be the only one with this viewpoint, but if my team's not in the playoffs or if they get eliminated from the playoffs, then I'm like, okay, well, now I want to see this team win it for this reason, or this team win it, or I don't really care who wins, so whoever wins, that's cool, you know. Like, whoa, hold that. Like the year St. Louis and Boston were in the finals, I had no desire to see Boston win. Nothing against Boston. It's just I didn't want to see them win. I wanted to see St. Louis win because St. Louis had never won a Stanley Cup in franchise history. And I thought the story from St. Louis that year was like amazing. Like going into the trade deadline, they weren't even in a playoff picture. I'm pretty sure if I remember right, they were like dead last in the Central. And then after the trade deadline, they flipped a switch and it was just lights out from there and they made it into the playoffs. They were like the last team to make it into the playoffs and they ended up winning the cup. It was just stories like that are just so cool. And I know I'm a Blackhawks fan, so it's like sacrilege to root for St. Louis with them being our rivals. But I mean, that stuff I don't really care about. I don't have like, oh, I'm rooting for this team. This team's my favorite, so I have to go against our rivals, you know. Like, I don't really care about that stuff. If a team's good and I like the players on the team, I'll root for them. But yeah, anyway. My main point is that I didn't find the finals exciting because there was only one team in there where I was like, okay, if they win, there's a cool story behind it. But then the other team I've seen win the year before, so it's like I'm not excited for that. That should be an icing, and indeed it is. Okay. And also the thing that annoys me, it annoys me with the Super Bowl, and I don't watch football. I just watch the Super Bowl. Um, if even that most years, but like the thing that annoys me is there can be like I get it, like they don't do it until like they know that it's pretty much a guaranteed win. But I really hate it when when the team starts celebrating before it's officially before like all the time has run out. Like I saw a screenshot that the Panthers were already on the ice celebrating and there was still like 10 like 6 to 10 seconds left in the third period, and I know they were up by like 4 goals, so obviously Edmonton's not going to get like 4 or 5 goals in 10 seconds. I know that. But there's just something about it that bothers me when all the players are just on the ice when they're still when the game's technically not over. Like I don't know. It's just something about it that bothers me. I mean, and like going back to what I was saying, maybe if it was Chicago and they were winning the cup, I wouldn't care. But I don't know. Something about it bothers me. And they do that in football. Every time I've watched the Super Bowl, there's like still like 3 minutes left or whatever. And they're all out on they're already doing the Gatorade thing on the coach. And it's like, okay, well, even if it's like out of reach, it's still like, could you just wait till it's like over? Oh, what a snipe from Chikrin. His 7th goal of the season. The game was pretty much like, I don't know. I was going to say snail's pace, but that's not the right word or phrase. I was going to say like quiet, calm, I guess, is what I was trying to think of. But like the game wasn't, nothing really exciting was happening. Few close calls. But then Chikrin just said, you know what, let's make it exciting. And just sniped a goal there. We're back up by 2 with 2:12 left in the third. Man, I am yapping. So the person who commented on an MLB video saying I yap too much, this video is definitely not for you, but I don't know if you watch NHL videos or if you're just strictly MLB. But if you are here, I do appreciate you watching, even though you think I yap too much. I do appreciate you still being here, if you are. Ooh, a shot from Reichel. His 15th of the season. Third period collapse from the Capitals here. I'm really hoping Kurashev can get a hat trick here, man. Be cool to see that kid get one. I say kid, but I'm pretty sure he's like the same age or older than me. I'm 25, so I'm pretty sure Philip Kurashev is either the same age or older than me. He could be younger than me for all I know. If he is younger than me, then yeah, he is a kid to me. But then again, I guess everybody younger than me could be a kid in my viewpoint. Yeah, thankfully this video shouldn't be too terribly long. Unless we have an absolute collapse and Washington scores 3 goals to force overtime. Even then, it still shouldn't be too long. But okay, Strome over to Chaka. Probably butchered that. Okay, fast with it. Over to Reichel. Got hit off the puck there, picked up by Fabry. Got the first goal for Washington in this one. Followed up by Ovechkin. Ooh, deflection. And then PLD with a deflection goal. Got his team back within it. And then we had an absolute snipe from Bertuzzi and then Reichel. They get us up to 6-3. Bedsy with a shot. Bertuzzi got in the way of that one from the looks of it. Strome will skate it out for Washington. Tried to pass it. Good defense from the boys. Kaner, he skates in. And we are at 8 seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. And Kurashev will unfortunately not get his hat trick in this one after getting the first 2 goals for us. But we do come up with the victory. Nice 6-3 victory on the road here in Washington. You'll love to see it. But I'm going to get a thumbnail and we will go back to the locker room and we will sim the next 2 games we start in just so we can get a little bit further into the season. So I will see you guys back in the locker room. All right, guys, I'm actually bringing you back here so we can see the stats. We can look at our stats here. So we played all 60 minutes. We made 29 saves on 32 shots. 906 save percentage, gave up 3 goals. So very nice stat line there. Wish our save percentage could have been a little bit bigger. And then first star of the game was Jacob Chikrin. Bertuzzi was the 3rd star, I believe. But we can look at the 3 stars, I believe, from the main menu. So a nice little road victory. How about no, James? We do not care, James. But yes, we will take a look at the 3 stars. Game-winning goal was Tyler Bertuzzi. Look at the 3 stars here. 3rd star. Oh, I thought I could have sworn it showed Tyler Bertuzzi. I could have sworn it said he was the third star of the game. Anyway, Alex Ovechkin is the third star of the game with a goal, an assist, and 4 hits. Philip Kurashev got the first 2 goals for us in that game. He gets 2 goals and 2 hits. And then Jacob Chikrin with a goal, 3 assists, and a hit. Okay. So there are the 3 stars. So now we will sim up to the next game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are doing pretty well. They are 32-14-6, now 33-14-6. We are not starting in this one, so we are going to save, because if you do not know, if you are new here, I will reload the save if it credits me for a win or a loss, just because I don't think it's fair that the game can just be like, oh, your stats are absolutely obliterated because we put you in this game, even though we said you weren't starting and blah, blah, blah. So I don't find that fair. So even if we win, even if we get like a shutout, if I get credit for a game that I can't actually jump into, I reset it. Anyway, hopefully that made sense. We are going to sim. And we got a conversation with the coach Dingman. Usually whenever you get a conversation in a game you sim, it gives you credit for being in the game. I'm going to make a promise even though I can't. I'm simming, so it doesn't matter. But we shall see, I guess. Yeah, if it gives me credit for that game. Okay, it did not. Okay, so a nice 5-1 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are now taking on the Pennsylvania Brethrens in the Philadelphia Flyers. They are 22-29-4, so definitely struggling compared to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are 38-13-3. We are going to sim this one here. Hopefully we can get another good win in Pennsylvania and then get our 22nd victory of the season. So first period, 1-0. Artemi Panarin scores on the power play. Second period, 2-2 tie. Andre and Frost score, give them the lead, and then Curtis Lazar scores to tie it back up. And in the third period, Bernard Docker and York score to give them a 2-goal lead, and then Bertuzzi gets us back to within 1, but unfortunately, we just come up short. So we'll look at our stats here. Played at 58-45, made 25 saves on 29 shots, had an .862 save percentage, and gave up 4 goals. So definitely not our best performance, but it could have been way worse. Panarin gets the third star with a goal and assist. Michkov gets 2 assists, second star, and Cam York gets a goal. Okay. So the first game we are simming is unfortunately a loss, and that also means unfortunately we're going to have to deal with a damn cutscene that I'm just going to mash X to skip through because I don't care. Frickin' Coach Dingman. Norm Dingman. Norm Dingman. Interesting name. I apologize to anybody out there if your name is actually Norm Dingman. Okay, we are taking on the Boston Bruins. 29-23-4 is their record. We are back home. We are going to be simming this game. Still looking for our 22nd victory on the season. First period against Boston. 2-1 Boston. Elias Lindholm scored. Then Kurashev tied it up. And then Poitras? Yeah, scores to give Boston the lead. Second period. 3-3 tie. Kupari and Jones score to give us a 1-goal lead. And then McAvoy ties it up. And third period, can we get the win? Yes, we do. Berdard, Fast, and Kopp score 3 unanswered. And we win 3-6. Let's look at our stats. Made 25 saves on 28 shots. Cameso came in there as well. Made 4 saves on 4 shots. We had an .893 save percentage and gave up 3 goals. And then, oh no, they only did get 3. Okay. So hopefully we're not injured. Hopefully the coach was just like, all right, pull you. Kurashev, third star, 1 goal, 1 assist. Fast, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 hit. And Jones, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 2 hits. Okay, hopefully we are not injured. We are not. Okay, if we are starting this game against the Capitals... Well, actually, I guess it's simming 2 games we started in. Did we do that already? Did we sim 2 games that we started in? Yeah, because we did We did this one, and then we just did that one. But the next episode, we are not going to pick up against Washington because we played them here. So we are going to sim once again, looking for our 40th win on the season. See if we can beat Washington again. They are 23, 25, and 8. We are back home, though. So first period against Washington. 1-0, Jacob Chikrin. Second period, 1-1 tie. Alex Ovechkin ties it up. And in the third period, it's 2-5. So Connor Bedard, Seth Jones score. Dylan Strome gets the second goal for Washington, and then Bedard and Fast score. They finish the game with a score of 5-2. Look at our stats here. Made 40 saves on 42 shots, 952 save percentage. Definitely a very good performance there to end it off. 3 stars. Seth Jones, third, 1 goal. Connor Bedard, second, 2 goals, 2 hits. And your boy Dale Adams, the first star, with a 2 goals against, made 40 saves, and a 952 save percentage. Okay, so a nice little way to wrap up that episode. And we are starting off the next episode against the Winnipeg Jets with a nice little away and home back-to-back game there. So we are 40, 14, and 3 to end this episode. We are 23, 10, and 2 on the season with a 910 save percentage and a 2.97 GAA, 86 overall. And yeah, I definitely am enjoying this series. In the next episode, we will go back to doing like 5-6 minute third periods, and we'll do 2 games. And that one we'll play a game, sim a game or 2, play a game, sim a game or 2 to wrap up the video. But yeah, I do think we'll focus on NHL for the next couple uploads at least before we jump into MLB again. And I really want to get back to Red Dead Redemption. I'm really wanting to play that again. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded that first part or second part or third part, however many parts it's been. I think 2 onto the channel, and I really want to get back to it because I really want to play that. So yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did and have not done so already, make sure to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell to turn on all notifications so you never miss a future one of my videos. Thank you guys once again so much for watching, and until next time, take care.